Okay, we're back again. It's about 5:30. It's starting kind of late today. Wasn't feeling so great earlier. But we are going to be moving around some gauges I have in here, like our boost gauge. It's great and all, but that thing is huge right in the middle of the dash like that. We also got our AEM wideband gauge here that I also have to mount up somewhere to replace this Innovate LC2, which doesn't work very well. I actually borrowed this from James. I'm going to give it back to him because he can use it. He was using it to tune scooters on carburetors, so it'll work fine for that, just not for this car application. It's a tiny bit off even with the new sensor, so it doesn't help too much, and I know that the AEM is going to be like 100%, especially because it's brand new. So that's what I'm going to be doing today in this hot-ass car, is moving this gauge and mounting the AEM. I can't put it in and hook it up and everything because I need to weld a bung onto the downpipe, but I don't have access to a welder right now. It's fine, which brings me to another point. I'm looking to buy a welder, a MIG with gas on it. I'm thinking either Eastwood HTP or Hobart. If anyone has any other suggestions down, throw it down in the comments, or if you have experience with Eastwood, HTP, or Hobart brand MIG welders specifically. I'm looking for like the base model, like 130 to 140 amp welder. Nothing fancy, just trying to weld up exhaust stuff, small steel stuff, iron stuff, nothing fancy. Not trying to get into TIG right now because that's just a whole nother added expense, and a whole rabbit hole of cups and stuff, and yeah, just I don't want to deal with it. So any suggestions on a MIG welder, throw it down in the comments. Looking for something in the range of like $400 to $600, not including like a cart, the bottle, or a mask. But yeah, just for the welder by itself, $400 to $600 is what I'm trying to find. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start disassembling the boost gauge and start mounting and probably electrically hooking up the wideband gauge just to see it turn on and whatnot, which I already have my ECU and all that down there. That's all hooked up. Like the LC2 was hooked up to the ECU to power ground, and the signal is the yellow wire there, and the red is the power with the fuse on it. So I'm just going to reuse all those and just connect it up in here to the AEM stuff, and then we'll be golden. Huzzah! By some odd miracle, the boost gauge wires were perfectly long enough to allow me to mount both gauges up here. Obviously, they're not mounted right now. They're just kind of sitting up there, but I did get both my wires for the wideband ran. I got the O2 connector out in the engine bay already, and there's way more than enough line because I think I got the one with the extended wire. Is that even an option? But basically the cable will be going, it goes from behind the dash, down behind the center console, up through the firewall hole on the driver's side, up and over, and then it's going to go straight down along the firewall and then cut over and then plug in basically where the downpipe is, which is somewhere in this area below the car. So that's all nice and situated. I just have to cut the, I'm sure it was amazing, LC2 by Innovate. I just have to cut that off and then wire in my power ground and signal wires for the AEM gauge, and then we'll be all set on that. And then tomorrow I'm going to be welding a bung onto the downpipe. God bless. Okay, for those following along at home, we are hooking up our red, black, and white wire. So red's going to go to red, black's going to go to blue, and white's going to go to yellow. Yes. I'm going to double check that by looking up a diagram of the ECU, but the yellow wire should be the signal. But I'm going to double check real quick. Okay, I double checked, and yes, that was correct. I'm going to go ahead and turn her on to test her out, just to see what happens. It should come on. Yep. There we go. That's working exactly how it should. There's no sensor hooked up to it, so it's just going to read 14.7, so that's perfect. It ran through its little checks and did show me an error code for no sensor detected, so, you know, we're good on that. And, you know, boost gauge still working. Engine's not on, so 0 is good. So we're all set on that. I'm just going to go ahead and button this up real quick, which I will show you. Just a little quick snap. Alright, that's all done. Got it all tucked up nicely there. The ECU, I did already have it mounted before, but I had to replace this ECU for the second time. You know, this car's just full of problems. It was 2 bunk ECUs, but it's fine. This one is perfect. Eddie at Genesis took care of me, so no problem there. We did have it mounted up there. It will go there eventually once everything's done, and I don't have to mess with it anymore. But we officially have the 2 gauges all hooked up and everything. I just have to double-sided tape that one, and then I'm just going to zip tie this one to this for now until I can get a gauge cluster if I care enough to do that. So we are all set on this install right here. I got it all nice and neatly packaged up back there. It's not the best looking since it does kind of cut over, and yeah, no airbag, whatever. But we are all set on that. Now I've got to, that's all coiled up right there, but I've got to get the lower downpipe off. Means I have to get a jack out. It's been a while since I've used a jack. So now is the point where we have to make a dot that hopefully I don't rub off between now and tomorrow on the exhaust. Got the car jacked up here on the jack stand, I swear. We need to get, you know, 2 sensor, like right and somewhere on this pipe, somewhere on here. Yeah, we're probably gonna go for right here, so it's at a nice little angle. AEM says to put it 10 degrees at least, at minimum. So we're gonna go like this. I'm just gonna wing it. Get some paint on that brush. Right there. That'll be good. Now I can take these 3 bolts off and the V-band. And we'll be on the way to having a wideband in the car. Yeah. Okay, so we got the downpipe out, and I already started drilling my hole. I do not have a drill bit big enough to fit this. So, hopefully, I'll figure something out for tomorrow. Yeah, which will be right now for you guys. Lucky you, I have to wait an entire day and go to work, but you guys just get to go right now. So it's the next day. I'm a little upset because when I got home it started raining and all the cars are all wet, but we're still out here working on stuff in the garage. So I finally got my Rywire kit. Okay, this is what a $50 cable looks like. You're not paying for the cable, you're paying for these connectors, which are money. So I got the distributor all cleaned up as best I can. I have to make one note for anyone that has a Honda. If your distributor O-ring gasket looks like this, just buy another one. Stop with, I understand. Just know that if you're popping the distributor off and it's leaking oil, buy one of these. They're in stock at AutoZone. They're like $7. Comes with a kit. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get this installed. I got my laptop charging, and we're gonna load an F22 turbo base map onto the ECU to see if that'll start. I think it's gonna start raining again anytime soon. I'm gonna try to do this quick because I still gotta go and weld up that bung onto the downpipe. It hasn't rained for like 2 or 3 weeks, so this is kind of weird right now, but I assume it's gonna rain like every day for the next month. So I got the old distributor removed. We're still gonna be using these 2 plugs here that'll plug into the Rywire kit. What's this? I don't even know what that is. Oil pressure sensor that's supposed to be in there, whatever. Then this, which we just shove a fuse right there on the 2 big wires. The yellow and yellow black, the green one we leave alone. And that's just going to pass through the power into this plug, which will supply power to the coil. And then I got to go down here, and there's a plug in this general area that connects up to the crank slash top dead center sensor that's on the harmonic balancer. And of course it uses a different style trigger wheel which sends a different signal, so that's why it's all screwed up on the ECU. So once we get this bad girl in there, it'll be great. One other weird note, so this is like the 92 to 95 Accord, which is OBD1, has an internal coil, as you can see. And then this is the 96 and 97 distributor, which has this block on here. There's nothing in here because there's no coil, but this is a completely different distributor. Like, it's not even that it has a different cap, so I don't even know why they built it like this. That's very strange. And also, this is our external ignition coil that we don't need anymore, so that'll help clean up the engine bay a little bit. This was kind of dorky, just sitting all the way at the top on the back of the engine like that, so we're good to get that out of there. That's enough talking. I'm going to go ahead and slap it in real quick before it starts pouring again, because it already started drizzling. So, alright, so in between the drizzling out here, I got the Rywire dingle bopper, the OBD1 distributor adapter all hooked up to the distributor. And I put the fuse in, I zip tied the fuse to the connector, and then I electrical taped it all so it's 100% sealed from any water that might get in there. So now all I have to do is get out my timing light and clock this correctly. I believe it's supposed to be at 8 degrees TDC, but I need to get into the Hondata S Manager so I can put the ECU into timing set mode, and then we'll be in business to load the F22 map onto it, which I have to double check. I believe I have one already because I tried it before and it didn't work. It should work perfectly now, but we're just trying to get the car started. There's no downpipe, so I'm not driving it. We're just checking if it's starting. So I didn't have a F22 base map. I had an H22 base map, which I just took the timing tables and just put it over into the tune that's on the car right now, which should be safe since, you know, with F series, H series, same thing, dual overhead cam, single overhead cam, same thing, same. I won't lie to you guys, I had the spark plug wires hooked up wrong. I had them exactly the same as they were on the F22 OBD2 engine, which this distributor came off of a VTEC F22 B1 from 94, so the wires went in different places. Anyways, I'd already started it. It actually started like immediately, so now I can get out my timing light and check timing. So yeah, I'll go hook that up real quick and start the car. Alright, so one more note on the S300 stuff on Hondata on S Manager. All you gotta do is go to data log. No. Online. Oh, the ignition has to be on for that. Actually, let me start it up. There she goes. And then you just just gotta go to set timing. This will set it to 16 degrees before top dead center. It'll lock the timing so that it is, you can check it and it's not gonna fluctuate, which OBD1 ECU does perfectly, but we don't want that right now. We need to set timing. I actually lied, we can't set timing until it warms up first. So I'm gonna wait for that. I believe I got it good. There's no downpipe. I actually took it out of my trunk because I had to get some stuff, but yeah. I let the car warm up and I timed it. Not really missing much. I held the timing light up to the timing marks and rotated the distributor, you know how to adjust this shit. So this is about where we ended up. This is probably not an original distributor since it is so far off from center, but that's where it wants to be. So here's a full rundown on the car on how everything works, which is an OBD2B engine with an OBD2A harness, with an OBD1 adapter harness, with an OBD1 ECU adapter harness on an OBD1 ECU for 2 different types of cars. It is a gorgeous Wednesday evening in South Florida. It's been raining a little bit today. I'm exhausted. It's 7 o'clock. Long day at work, but I know that check's gonna be fat, so I can't really complain about that. Anyways, we got the downpipe, we got the bung beautifully welded on, and we're gonna throw our sensor in and throw it in under the car. That's about it. And then I just gotta plug it in, zip tie a couple things so it doesn't get all wrecked and ruined and crapped up under there. And then I'll know the AFRs and the car is running and driving again, which is going to be great. Because the last time this car was running and driving with no issue was back in October last year. So it's been a minute. So hopefully this makes it real nice at the 7 PSI boost, and we'll be happy. And then I just gotta make, again, an appointment for Genesis. I keep saying it, but that's it. That's the last thing. Once this pipe goes on, that's it. Just call Genesis, make an appointment, go down there, get a tune. Okay, so I literally just got the jack and jack stand and all my tools out, downpipes in, connectors all hooked up. I just kind of tucked the wires back there with a little zip tie so it's not going to like fall down and wrap around drag on the ground. So this is going to be a genuine first start and checking the AFRs. I know it starts, so that's nothing special, but we're going to see how shitty this thing runs. So there we go. Yep. Yoo! A little rich for an idle. Oh God. Oh no. That's dead nasty rich. Ah, it's doing the thing. God dang it. Well, frick. That ain't too great. Unfortunately, what I can tell, I've successfully turned the Accord into a poorly running car into pretty much a lawn ornament. Bada boom, bada bang. Ugh.